All right, I keep hearing from a lot of people that they'll be watching my videos or will be going through my book or even have gotten a plan from me, a Zoom, a remote plan or in-person plan. And they'll see a lot of body weight work, and they'll see monstrous numbers and monstrous amounts of times in varying degrees, varying intensities, varying environments for them to seek out the state of failure where the most changes occur safely to fail. And then they'll ask or inquire, when will we, or do you ever do strength training for yourself? Or when will we start to do strength training? And it's just the perversion of what fitness industry and health industry, and why I attack so many people out there, why I want you to stay away from or make a better decision on who you choose to guide you, to where the versions of what we call training anymore, going into a building and competing against other people, making it social, being on a bike of some kind, always loading with weight, some sort of obstacle course, some sort of a circuit of some kind where sweating, heart rate increase, and vomiting or peeing yourself are signs of success or signs of health. And this just couldn't be further from the truth from what I believe training to be. So in regards to strength, the strength and resilience of the system, it's the ability to manage and adapt to life forces. When we walk, it's like 1.5 to 2 times our body weight of force. Rolling over in bed, sitting down, leaning forward, 250% our body weight of force into our low back. We clap a hand, that's force exchange. There's not a lot of weight, but there's a lot of force. When we encounter a life environment or experience that could be joyous, or it could be the opposite end of that spectrum. You emitting an emotional experience is a physical, emotional, intellectual, mental, spiritual engagement of forces. Okay, so everything is about managing force. If you don't manage force well, tissues become damaged and you get injured. So the word strength, what does that mean? Increasing your resiliency to being able to absorb or adapt to life forces and manage them effectively to where you don't have damage that you're aware of. We have damage all the time. That's what training is for, and that's what life is all about. But the stuff you're needing to be aware of, that's the only reason symptoms show up. It's for your body. It's the only way your body has to get your attention for you to change something and prepare to differently or prepare to a greater level. That's it. But there's always repair going on. You just don't know about it. And that's the way it's supposed to be. If we were supposed to know about all the shit that they measured, my God, how exhausting would it be to go down every nth degree of every measurement, of every variable, of everything they'll ever think is important in life. And you'll just sit there and constantly worry about all these fluctuations and all these things. What's wrong with me now? What's wrong with me now? What's wrong with me now? Nothing's wrong with you. You're perfect. Your body's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's adapting to its environment that you choose to put it in. So in regards to strength, anything we do that prepares you to encounter life's forces that you decide to put yourself into, that's strength. I love, if we're just talking movement and body training in my definition of the term, owning your body weight first, that's a pretty good place to start. If you can't manage your body weight of force and the forces that your body creates, you're probably not going to do too well with load, meaning an external load of some kind, whether it's bands or tubing or bars or dumbbells or plates or air resistance or whatever it is. You're probably not going to do too well. So I keep finding that my body weight owns me. If I do it to a certain way, I can stimulate force levels that are so great that my body will literally fail and fail and fail and create these changes. Do I bring something from the outside in? Weights? Of course I do. But I make damn sure that I can move my body weight, because my ability to move my body weight is what allows me to move an external load, or allows me to electrocute myself, or use water or air or some other form of stimulus. So again, when will we work on strength, TJ? We're always working on strength. Every time you do anything that prepares you to handle the forces of life, that's strength training. Now, I choose body weight because that's what we started with. When you get into it, you start to see that you really don't need much more than that to stimulate the body to the greatest level that you can you've ever imagined, even as a pro athlete. Or even as an 86-year-old sitting there in bed wondering because people have told you, don't do anything, you're going to hurt yourself. And then there's the other people who are like, here, this is training. You don't do anything because you're going to hurt yourself. Then you see you devolve even worse and you're hurting and you're just all fucked up. And then you go try to do what people call training and then you get hurt and you're just like, well, there's nothing for me to do. I'm just going to sit here because life sucks and I'm getting old. That's not the way it is. That's not even close to being the truth. So again, we don't need to go far from what we're already equipped with ourselves. And if you've experienced my training, whether it's through my book or through a Zoom or in person, or you've tried some of the things that you've seen on my YouTube channel, you see that you really don't need much more of any input outside of what you are already loaded with, what you already carry on yourself. And then if you really want to make it tough, just like little children and kids, they started jumping off shit. Why? They started jumping in puddles. Why? Something to think about. Is it body weight or is there an increase of stress, stimulus, force when we do those things? Don't really need to go far. And again, if you want to get complicated in your training and you want to add all these things, you want to do all this extra stuff, that's cool. But in order to survive that environment, your body has to be able to manage itself first. And if you don't have any comprehension at all or any competency at all of what you were already born with, you're going to get into trouble. And those are the people doing the things called training that end up getting them injured, which is why I call them not training. Anything that you got to leave. Do I get injured in here? Hell yeah. I push myself hard. That's the point. But when the body tells me that there's symptoms, there's damage to tissue, and there's something that I got to change, I don't go to some other business to go heal it. I don't go find somebody else to go do it. I stay within the training that I do because training is training is training. As I've said, training is movement. Movement is rehab. Training is rehab. Rehab is movement. Movement is training. And all the things in between. No matter what state of being you're at, doesn't matter where you dip your foot into that river of training and life moving forward. It's always flowing and it doesn't matter who you are. You can always do it no matter what state of being you're in. Even if I'm bedridden and my back is spasmed, I had to lay around for 3 months. Well, let me ask you this. Could you move your hands? Could you move your feet? Could you move your face? Could you breathe? Damn, that's a program right there with somebody who knows what they're doing, which is you. All right. Training, strength training, preparing for life, preparing for the forces of life, being able to adapt and manage the forces of life. And that's not just physical for all you emotional people who keep saying that like emotional pain equals physical pain. Stop talking about the physical damage. If you, this is interesting that we have this like, I'm only physical. The emotions that are expressed when you train the physical being, you can only express through this body emotions to a level of what you're competent with. If you literally think that you can work on your emotional pain or emotional state and not bring in massive physical, and some practitioner is telling you like, yeah, you gotta be gentle with yourself and it's emotional and you gotta release and you're just gonna lay around for the next 3 years or 2 years, lay calm. Like if you literally feel and think and believe that you can heal emotionally without tying in the physical, this is why I said that big building where we think health comes from, where you go to all these separate rooms to work on. Every single thing we do is motion oriented, all the way down to the basic processes of every cell. Every process of every cell, everything going on is massive amounts of movement. And you got to find ways to keep it in your life all day, every single day, no matter what state of being you're in, because you can only express an emotion to the level that the body can take. And if we can't take it, we can't express it. And if we can't feel it, what the hell happens? Boom, we're feeling organisms. Trained to feel, trained to survive, trained to thrive. Boom.